terms of what's next, my question to you, Mary, is how exactly does he lower the price of groceries?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I love that example of the relatability that he has. That's something that sets Donald Trump apart from all politicians that we're seeing, is that he understands what the American people want, the needs of the grassroots, and he supports and implements policies that will help them. And that's why he's been so successful. That's why we're seeing national world leaders coming to the table, wanting to talk about trade, wanting to actually take the immigration issue seriously. And we saw in the November 5th election, the top issue that led people to vote for Donald Trump was because of the economy. So it will obviously be a multi-layered economic strategy in order to lower the prices of groceries, but there are several things that he can implement to do that. In the recent interview, he mentioned energy costs and energy policies. We have so many renewable energies and critical minerals here in the United States that we don't utilize. He talked about fixing the supply chains. I mean, the Inflation Induction Act that was put in by Biden himself, that increased inflation by 19.3%. That's about $17,000 per every like a family of four in this country. So getting rid of those bad policies, implementing things that will grow the economy, cutting taxes. There's a lot of things on the table, but we know that Donald Trump is a successful businessman, and he'll do everything that he can to make a difference.
Melissa, most Americans believed that President Trump would be better at fixing the economy than his Democratic opponent. Perhaps less enthusiasm for those who didn't vote for him. But, you know, when you think about the stock market, obviously it's not the overall economy. They're not synonymous, but the markets do influence consumer confidence. They can be a leading indicator of future economic health, and money talks. So what do you think it takes to get more Democrats on board with his financial agenda?
You know, look, we're going to have to wait and see what he's willing to do in terms of reaching across the aisle. But as you noted, I mean, we've been in this bull market for 26 straight months, and we've been up 70%. So the stock market on its own, that was going to be an indicator of who was going to win this election, then the Democrats would have retained power. So I do think at the end of the day, it's going to go back to whether or not Donald Trump can do things to actually lower inflation while at the same time watching that those real wages rise. And there's going to be very real impacts on the tax cut package that he puts forth at the beginning of next year. So listen, you campaign in poetry, you govern in prose. Let's see what he can actually do. It's really easy to campaign. The governing is what's hard. So now he's going to have to, the rubber's going to meet the road.
Mary, he posted something on Friday about daylight saving costing Americans too much. Are Republicans really committed to eliminating daylight saving time? And have you heard what Democrats think about that?
So the polls show that a majority of Americans are in support of it. And I think it's something that politicians have thrown around for a while that they were going to tackle. Leave it to Donald Trump to, of course, take it on and be willing to tackle it. I think people are excited by that. I mean, the first Trump administration, they said he couldn't do the Abrams Accord in the Middle East. They said that he wouldn't be successful with tariffs and trade. He likes to prove people wrong because he likes to win. And I think with the majorities that he has in the House and the Senate, and with the whole force of the American people behind him, I think he'll be able to tackle it. We'll wait and see, but it'll be an interesting one for sure.
Melissa, I know that Scott Turner is one of the names just recently nominated. He's an NFL player turned lawmaker turned pastor. He's worked in the previous administration. Scott Turner, nominated for HUD secretary following in Ben Carson's shoes. What do you think about this choice, especially as affordable housing is one of Americans' top concerns?
You know, listen, I think that he's going to have a difficult road to hoe, particularly when you've got Elon Musk and others saying that they're going to come in and gut the federal government. Affordable housing, the affordability crisis as it relates to housing in general is crushing the American people. And so how is he going to prioritize what the agency is going to focus on? And is he going to have the resources necessary to get it done when everyone is just saying cut, cut, cut? So it'll be interesting to see how his confirmation hearings go and what his vision is, but he's got a deck stacked against him.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.